Hello, everyone. This is Yogi here. I hope you're well in this beautiful Thursday. So this is 8:48 in sleepy town called London, and I'm ready for a spot of stitching. It's been a really busy day, and so the busier I am during the day, the more I'm waiting for my stitching here. So I hope you're ready too. And today, this piece, one of my favorite pieces in my webs. This is called Granny's Crop Rim. This is a 14 count project along with 3 others I have stitched on the live stream here. And they're absolutely whimsical and beautiful. And to prove that, I'm going to show you this lovely mock-up. Just look at that. There's a little kitten sleeping peacefully on top of a shelf, on top of a desk as well. And there's a little snowball, snow globe rather, next to a little kitty. And it's just a scene of tranquility and peace and happiness. I absolutely love this piece. So this piece I've been working on maybe for the past couple of years or so. I remember getting this kit in the middle of the lockdown, and I had to wait for a little bit for the delivery from Amazon. And I remember the anticipation and the sense of excitement there. So this piece so far, let me just quickly show you my app here. So I'm using Markup RXP to track my progress here. Let me move my light a little bit away there so that there's no reflection. And I'm working page by page because this was originally a paper pattern that I imported to Markup RXP. So I'm very grateful the fact that I'm able to interact with this pattern digitally, which is my preference. And just to show you the sort of the overall scale of the entire piece here. So as you can see, I actually started from the center here. So I started from this page here where the kitty is. That was my goal. I just couldn't wait to get to the little cat. And then I moved to the left. And then I'm working these 2 bottom pages at the same time. Originally, I thought, well, I'll start from the left in order, but I'm now following the pattern here. So I'm actually, let's have a look. I'm actually stitching this wooden cabinet there, the little drawer here. And it makes sense because the pattern, the design actually goes across 2 pages. So it makes sense to work with the pattern rather than against it, rather than having a hard stop. So that makes sense. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to flip back and forth between these 2 pages and start to work up to downwards. And I'll talk about how I'm going to work this piece in terms of stitching method in a little bit. So let me just, oh yes, of course, I'm going to show you my progress at this point. Currently, I'm easing toward 2 digits, okay, 10%. And let's see how I'm doing today. Normally, I'm doing relatively well on this piece. And today, I'm starting from 0, obviously. I have a daily goal on this app for 300. I don't mind if I hit it. If I do, great. Otherwise, happy the same way. My average stitch number of stitches is about 200. Okay, so 300 is a slight taller order, but it's better to aim for the moon, and at least you get to land on one of the stars. So with that, I'm going to pop my app back on my stand so I can reference to it. And let's have a look who's on the chat today. We have Nikki Stitchy. Nikki, hello. She says hello, everyone. And Gritty is here as well. Frankie, hello, Frankie. Sarah is here as well. Hello, Sarah. She says good afternoon. It's still daytime there. Very lucky lady. And Lorraine as well. She's been joining us every day. Thank you so much for coming back. And Clover Stitcher. Hello, Clover. And Rivers here as well. Hello. And Suzanne. Hello, Suzanne, our in-house weaving expert here. And Susan, is it Susan? There's a two. It's Suzanne and Susan. Okay, Susan says, hiya, everyone. And Andrea says hi as well. Tracy Dumas, Tracy D. We have a couple of Tracy's, so I have to make distinction there. Tracy D says, hi, everyone. And just Sarah says, welcome back to Yogi Stitch Club. Absolutely. We're here every day. We're here for it. Okay. And Stitchy Dutchy. Oh, Joyce is joining us as well. Nice and early. And hello, Joyce. And Susan. Oh, Susan says, what pattern is it? What company? Good question. So the pattern is called Granny's Craft Room. It's one of the kits I've got, cross-stitching kits I got from Amazon. So good question about the company. It's called DMC Stitches, if I remember, but it's kind of mysterious. On Amazon, it says Max Design, Stitching Design, or something like that. I think no one ever knows about it. The company, no, I try to Google them. I think there's a website, but to be honest, I don't know what they actually do. I don't know whether they charted this work, because it's beautifully charted. It's really well charted. I mean, this piece actually incorporating not only back stitches, when it goes out to the, let me pull up the markup. When it goes, if you look at the upper left there, where the sky and the trees, they're actually half stitches. So they're using different type of stitches to accentuate the design, the sky for the sky to fade out a little bit. So it's a really well charted project. But for the life of me, I don't know who actually charted this piece. So it's worth doing a little bit of research, I think. But this kit currently is not being sold. It doesn't say discontinue. It just says sold out. So, or are currently not available. So I don't know whether they're gonna have more. The only place I ever seen this kit is on Amazon. But have a look at Etsy, because Etsy sometimes they have artists, they kind of rechart a lot of discontinued pieces. So have a look. Maybe do a image matching, because it might be under different names. And let's have a look. Oh, Jenna is here as well. Hello, Jenna. Heather H as well. We have multiple Heather. So this is Heather Hose, and she says happy Thursday. Absolutely happy every day. Happy day. Every day stitching. Every day is stitching day. And for some, I mean, every day is Amy Stewart day. I wouldn't blame you. Betty's here as well. Betty. So let's start. So this piece, 14 counts, where I'm stitching 2 over 1 full cross. Okay. So for 14 count stitches, I'm doing full cross, and the floss is actually came with the kits as well. So I have 4 of these. I think quite possibly charted by a company, the same artist. They have very similar feel to them, and all of them have back stitches. So I consolidate all the floss together. They use same type of floss. They're DMC compatible, so it's very easy to manage. And the texture is slightly more, I say, sort of I want to say thicker, but it's more, it has more volume. They're very robust, very nice for 14 counts, and the stitching experience is really enjoyable. I really like it, and I like the fact that it's not too shiny. I don't like floss that's too shiny. So nice and matte there, perfect for this piece. So I want to talk a little bit about how I'm going to stitch it. So those who have seen the previous stream on this piece, you probably know I love Gemma stitches. And she has a very unique way of stitching. As you can see, I have parking thread here, okay? But I'm not following the blocks. And you probably also notice there are no loose stitches. There's no floating stitches from the stitch area. So if you imagine this, the stitch area is like an island. I do not have individual boats floating away. Everything is, I'm following the edges loosely diagonally. Okay, I'm not very straight. And I might do what Gemma does nowadays. She does color flow, what she calls color flow, which is if you have a block of the same color, you just flow with the shape and follow the colors rather than strictly diagonal. Okay, and I'll explain a little bit as I move forward. And oh, Cheryl is here as well. Cheryl with eagle eye, you know, she can always spot my stitching errors. So she's going to be very busy today. Okay. And so expect to work very, very hard today, Cheryl. And let me just pull up this little markup here and move slightly to the left so you can see where I'm going. So today, I think I might do a little bit work on the bottom left actually. So it will create space for me to kind of slowly move downwards. So generally I want to keep that diagonal shape within reason. So let me move toward the left here. And there are a few stitches, you know, it looks very inviting here anyway. So I've got my sewing machine, needle minder there. Very appropriate for the theme. And let's start. And let me know what you're working on and what you're drinking as well. Our power drink is absolutely vital for our power stitching sessions. And today I've got my usual, a little bit of coffee left from earlier on when I came in. Let me take a sip. It's a black coffee, still a little bit warm, and freshly brewed peppermint tea. Oh, peppermint tea is the best, particularly in the evening when you just want to slow down a little bit, calm down a little bit. So let me pick my first victim today. Who will it be? I know, I can just see it. You know, with this way of stitching, you can tell if certain color is calling you. You can absolutely see it. And I think today is this lucky fella, the first one. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Yes. Sarah says, cold coffee today. Cold coffee is the best. Not iced coffee, cold coffee. So you brew a fresh cup of hot coffee and then you just somehow, you know, leave them aside, drinking slowly, and then eventually it gets cold. That's the best. I don't know why cold coffee's got much stronger coffee taste for me. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So I am going to start from this little deep purple color here. Let me just see if I can pull up a little bit. I'm warming up, guys. I'm warming up. So if I'm about to make mistakes, that will be about now. So I'll be super mindful. Betty is drinking water with lemonade. Very nice, very refreshing. You know, when I just simply hearing the word lemon, my mouth starts watering. It's a phenomenon known to everyone. So everybody is probably having their mouths watering right now. Just listen to the word lemon. Just thinking about it. And I'm gonna start with this color. So this way of stitching, in principle, when you stitch, the area to the left should be already filled in. So the idea is going from top, bottom, left to right and move diagonally. These are the rules, and no floating stitches, so you don't start cross country in any way. And I'm starting from the stitch on the right because all 4 stitches are filled with the same color. I think I've already should I say I've already made a mistake, and this is not a mistake that's happening right now. It's actually I par this color 1 stitch off, so I can quickly just frog it. So instead of parking on I was parking bottom left, instead of parking at this stitch, it should have been here. So no sweat, I can just move it back. And also this way of stitching involves a lot of threading, unthreading. So if you're one of those people who just dreads threading needles, maybe this is not for you. But then that also applies to a lot of parking methods. You know, a lot of parking methods, you do need to thread your needles a bit more frequently than others. So just, you know, you need to be totally frank with yourself and pick the stitching method that works for you. And I like to try everything at least once, and if I like it, I do it at least 3 times. See, now I'm back on track with this, and from here I'm gonna just quickly sneak this needle back down here. There's just 1 stitch here at the corner, and the next stitch in the diagonal direction is actually below here, this stitch. But because there's an unstitched area above me, so I do not stitch, I stop and park. Okay, and this method requires a little bit of time to get the head around, but once you get there, it makes sense. It makes sense. Greety's drinking mocha coffee with ice cubes in it. Oh, iced coffee. Very nice. What makes mocha a mocha? Is it the milk or is it chocolate? I can't remember now. It's nice and cold. Oh, sounds good. Sounds good. And the next one, let me pick this little guy here. And it's always good to refer to the swatch as well, because I misread numbers, I misread locations. I generally just misread a lot of things. So I need to cross-reference just so I know. And Suzanne is drinking bubble water and taking a little break. Started Valentine Nope today. Yay! So did you get your fabric? Lovely. Let me know, remind me what fabric count you're working on and what stitches. I can't remember if you do half stitches at all. I know some stitches, they do not do half stitches. I do now. You know, hush hush. I love it now. I didn't get to try 10 stitches until beginning of this year, would you believe? And I love it. I love it. I don't know why I waited for so long. And by the way, the needle size I'm using is 26. Quite possibly DMC. Okay, now decision for me to make, because this color I'm stitching, there's not a part thread of the same color. So this method is not unusual to have the same color being part multiple times in different locations. So I've already have 1 part thread there. I'm going to move this away from the current location. I'm going to do a pin because the next location is over here and I don't want to take it over stitch area. So I'm going to just This is a yogi move, okay? This is how I'm going to name it. Yogi maneuver. I'm going to take it away. And 1, 2, 3. And move it over here. Just to bypass the stitch area. So let me see where I am. If I'm in the right location, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay, that one is done up there. That's why I'm a bit confused. And there's one stitch down here. So I'm taking 2 part threads that they're identical in color, but 2 different directions. So sometimes colors, the same color flows toward different directions, and you can plant threads allowing them to flow to different direction. So that's my cunning planner. The next one is over here, so that's where I'll park. It's very refreshing to come back to this way of stitching. Having tried typewriter, and yesterday I did, what did I do? I did the minimum to maximum using Saga, and today is Emma's method. Oh, just so much fun. And oh, Rose is here as well. Hello, Rose. Rose is drinking Pepsi, and and oh, sorry, Cheryl. So Rose is here. She says hello, and it's Cheryl. Cheryl drinking Pepsi. And by the way, she says, how can I do my job properly with no pattern to follow? Oh, that's a very good point. Very, very good point. Thank God. Oh, sign of relief from Yogi, because yesterday, that's a very good point. Very good point. Because yesterday I was using Sagas 2 days in a row, so I was able to show what I'm doing on the screen here, showing the app. Today I'm not able to, unfortunately, because both my markup RXP and Pattern Keeper, they're on my Android, and I have a crappy little Android tablet that doesn't mirror, so I'm not able to plug it into my computer there. Oh, signs of relief. I can relax today now. I can make as many mistakes as I want. Cheryl wouldn't know. Oh, fantastic. The days has already got better. Very good point. And Joy says, stitching on bedtime story, her main project for her future grandchild, and she's drinking sugar-free Coke. I love Diet Coke. Yes, reminds me, I might go grab one in a bit, with a few grains of sugar to make it less fizzy. Does it do that? I didn't know that. I want a fizziness though. And she says, oh, not just sugar and a bit of orange and cinnamon. Oh, and a cup of orange and cinnamon tea. I think that's one of Joyce's favorite herbal tea. I must look it up. I don't think I've found it yet. I haven't found. Okay, I'm moving over here to this color. Okay, Shara, I'm gonna just deliberately make a lot of mistakes, knowing that you can't tell anyway. Fantastic. Grace says, oh, Grace is here. Hello, Grace. She says, hello, everyone. Say hello to Grace. And stitching on Little Cake Shop. Oh, fantastic. I did work on that a couple of days ago, didn't I? Yes. Let me know the fabric count and the version you're working on. I'm working on the regular size and max colors. Oh, a lot of confetti with that piece. Lots of colors, lots of confetti. Two stitches over here. And then I'm going to part down. Occasionally, when the next stitch is like here, there's a stitch above. I allow myself to stitch, you know, anywhere when there's a stitch above. But in this occasion, I'm gonna just park it. I go with vibes, okay? And to be honest, the purest form of Gemma stitches method, you wouldn't stitch it anyway. But occasionally I allow myself to do that, just to save the trouble of switching color one extra time. So this one is getting really short here. Let me see where I'm going with this. I might just end it, because if it's so short and it's part, it's going to make threading a little bit trickier. And sometimes I have to make a judgment call and let it go to the leftover floss heaven. In principle, I like to stitch till it's very short, so I play thread chicken frequently. It's my daily sport. But for this, I think if I was to park, I want it to be at least a certain length to be meaningful. So this one, I'm sending you to the little leftover thread paradise. There you go. Susan says, no cross country, Nikki's out. No cross country. Oh, don't say the C word, okay? Don't mention the C word. I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. Or even the ECC. That's a new terminology. If you don't know what it is, it's extreme cross country. There's some of our viewers participate in this kind of extreme sports there. I hope you guys are wearing helmet and wearing security, outfit, fluorescent jackets at least. Stitch safely. Safety first. And this one, I might, in fact, why don't I stitch this one? And I'm going to break my rule a little bit. Let me just pop this in. I think this is wrong size needle. Got sneaked in for some reason. You can feel it in your hands. If it's 28, it feels very different from 26. So switch my needle. This one doesn't like me. Betty says, and I'm stitching on Christmas vacation quote found on Etsy. Yes, the term Christmas has entered the chat. Fantastic. It's never too early for Christmas themes. Christmas every day. What are these needles rebelling against me today? I think it's because this piece of thread is frayed a little bit. It's kind of weakened a little bit. And let me pick one more, see if I get better luck here. And it's quite short already, so maybe it's ready for retirement. I don't know. It's trying to tell me something. And I'm going to complete these 2 stitches here and maybe end it as well. Just allow it to quietly retire. So I'm doing what I said I would not do just earlier on. I'm going to stitch the one below because I want to end this thread. And let me see if I can tuck this one under somewhere safely. Suzanne says, I remember I had a piece of 14 count that just barely fits. Barely fits where? Your frames? Oh, okay. So she says, so I'm trying minimum to max in 20 by 30 area. You mean blocks or stitches? If it's blocks, that's pretty big. there. I'm going to mark these 2 stitches. And so now I can take this one. So it's a bit of a strategy game happening here with this method. It's very interesting because you have to kind of look at surrounding stitches and see how you can create maximum stitch count when you switch color. And that's based on the pattern that you're working on at that time. It's great fun. It's great fun. It's like a strategy. It's like a chess game. Chess game. It's stitching chess. And this method is pioneered, as I said, by Gemma Stitches. She's a floss tuber. If you don't know her channel already, go have a look. She's got a tutorial as well on this method and others. So I can go all the way up there. Suzanne says, I do that pin move too. Yes, you mean the yogi maneuvering. Yes. Yogi back flip. That's it. Lorraine says, I'm drinking root beers from my bubble machine. Bubble machine? What is that? The machine that makes bubbles, as it says on the tin. Oh, a lot of stitches have very fancy equipment to support their stitching life. It's very important. Let's see, 1, 2, let me count properly. Here, I've already done, oh, hello. I'm going up here, done that one. 2 more on the right here. Okay, I know where I am now. Suzanne says, I wish I could get root beer easier here. Can you not get root beer where you are? I think Suzanne is in Switzerland. Is that correct? Or Sweden? I get mixed up. Geography is not my forte, okay? I can barely remember my own phone number, so there. Two more here. It's always nice. You feel like you were winning a little prize here when you can keep stitching for a few more than just a couple. One more here. And there's another one. And I'm trying to see why there's a part 3 here. Let me have a look. 1, 2. So this one, in theory, should be this color. So I may have part this one in the corner incorrectly. That happens. Wouldn't shock me. And I'll figure out what that thread is in a bit. Caro is here. Caro H says hello. And Gritty asks if you do max color, which method is the best? Blocks for block by block, do you mean? It really depends. I change my methods within the piece frequently. So I'll just take the Kate Shop as an example. It's a max color, regular size, 1/1, 25 counts. So I started off with, because it was relatively early with for me in my full coverage journey, And I started off with the first method I learned, which was, let me just find my way here. It was block by block, color completion, diagonal, if that makes sense, right? So you just doing block by block, upper left to start with, and then you do color completion within the block, and then, you know, so on and so forth. Part to the right, bottom, depends on which one you're going to do first. And I did that for a while, and then I transitioned into mini cross country. And I think currently I'm doing the minimum to maximum using Saga. So anything that works for you. And also I tend to switch to a slower method when I come across confetti. That's what I learned, because initially when I was doing the color completion, even within the block, when it's a very confetti, it's a lot. You know, at the end you have to kind of, you know, stab your needle through a thick layer build up because you're parking everywhere. Because your thread, you know, are sort of laying over each other a lot. So it really depends on what kind of stitcher you are. Nowadays, if I come across a heavily confetti area, which you will come across a lot with Max colors, I switch to row by row, one block at a time. So I'm less overwhelmed. I'm just looking at horizontally where I am, and then part down. I know there's a lot of changing threads and parking, but you will be happier. You can give it a try, see if it frustrates you or anything. But I find, you know, take it slow is the best policy when it comes to confetti. When it's heavily confetti, I don't enjoy color completion because you have to find stitches within a really crowded area. Just do one stitch at a time. So yeah, it really depends on what kind of stitcher you are. The best way is just to try it, see if it works for you, and then if not, try something else. So there. Lovely. So far so good. Warming up, warming up. And Nikki says drinking Diet Coke Zero, caffeine free. Diet Coke, drinking Coke Zero. Is that? Yes, I noticed there's such a thing as Coke Zero. Is that different from Diet Coke? They're both from Coca-Cola, aren't they? What's the difference? I think I've tried both. I haven't noticed any difference. It's just a marketing thing. I have no idea. It's a mystery. It's a mystery to me. I'm going to just cut that off because I don't know what that is. And I'm going to look toward this direction. Sometimes you just know, you look at the shape of that diagonal line and find somewhere that looks inviting. And now this thread, this one is calling me. Let's have a look. Let's see what this one is. Indeed. Great choice, Yogi. Great choice. So this pattern was imported from Paper Pattern, and because of that, very occasionally I have to stop a little bit to mark stitches that that haven't got picked up by the system. It happens if you do it import from paper. So these are the things I have to manually do from time to time. And it's not too bad because I'm easing away. So, you know, I always notice if there's unmarked, unhighlighted stitches. Oh, Nikki's at a ballet for her girls. A ballet for my girls and stitching the bookshop by Little House Needleworks. Stitching method, paper chart. Are you stitching at the ballet? Do you think you'll be the first one doing that? Are you breaking some sort of record? Nikki, you're just living a really reckless life right there, stitching at a ballet. Oh, I don't know how the ballet dancers will feel about that. We're dancing our bum off, and there was this lady just stitching away in the audience. Oh, it's children's ballet, is it? But still, you know, Nikki is living a very dangerous life. Oh, Caro Rebello. Caro Rebello. We have two Caro. Caro H and Caro Rebello, who is from Portugal. She says, hi, Yogi and everyone. Hello to Carla. Lauren says, carbonate. Oh, the machine referring to the right. So the bubble machine makes all water, all drinks fizzy. Interesting. It carbonates my water and add flavor as well. Goodness. Wow. I didn't know you could do that. A few stitches here, so very happy. Move it up a little bit. So I'm doing one leg at a time because I want to take this thread back to where I started. And I notice Gemma that does this quite a lot. I think this is kind of her default way of stitching whenever she can. Obviously, you can only do so when there are quite a few lined up on the same row there. And I'm trying to recall whether she does it vertically as well. I suppose she probably does. But you probably don't come across vertical situation with this way of stitching because it's supposed to go diagonal. Oh, Suzanne says Sweden. Yes, thank you for letting me know. I get mixed up sometimes. Senga's here as well. Hello, Senga, who is also from the UK. And Natalia is in here in our chat as well. Natalia, hello. And, oh, Senga says, we used to have a soda stream. What is that, Senga? That sounds like something the NASA will have. Soda stream. Oh, I'm a bit scared. Let me know what that is. Is it just to, do you pour soda in it or does it make soda for you? Is it the same as bubble machine? I need to know. All these weird and wonderful things. Nikki says they're having ballet practice. Okay, it's a rehearsal. Okay. I'm the only one waiting. Do you have any travel pieces? I actually don't because I occasionally, if I have to wait between classes, it happens relatively frequently. If I have, for instance, if I have one class, finish that, and then the next class, I tend to only do classes they're close to each other, either back to back, so there's 15 minutes between the break, which is, there's no chance. And occasionally I might have to wait more than an hour. That happens, but never sort of stitching actually. I tend to just do a little bit of admin on my apps. Very occasionally I take my tablet, but no, never sort of stitching because I normally try not to create situations that I have to wait for something for longer than an hour. But that's an interesting idea. I know some people take their projects to work and kind of do a few stitches at lunchtime, which is an interesting idea. I suppose you probably need to bring something that's relatively small and compact and you know, the size of my floss organizer, I probably need a suitcase to carry those with me. Let me have a sip of my peppermint tea. Oh, super good, super good. I love my peppermint tea from Teapigs. Nikki says, I tried Gemma way of stitching with 25 pounds. It was a hot mess express. I think it's best with Ada. Absolutely. Nikki, you're spot on. I tried this method on 25 counts. It just did not flow for me. For some reason, this method works best with 14 counts or maybe up to 18, I'll say, because it's all about kind of bypassing the situation that you have to stitch in boxed in stitches. Very often it happens with color completion or cross country. Eventually you're going to have to stitch within a very crowded area surrounded by stitches, and some stitches don't like the experience of doing that. They like the openness of each stitch. If you look at this method, you will probably notice each stitch I make, I will have at least have 2 to 3 corners free from stitches. If I stitch this one, for instance, I'll have the bottom free, the right stitch is free, and diagonally down as well. Nothing's blocking me. So it's a very kind of open, spacious way of stitching. And you really only notice that when you're working with larger stitches. When it comes to 25, I totally agree with you. It did not work for me because 25 count, I don't mind so much stitching within boxed in stitches because it's one strand, and yeah, it doesn't matter. It you know, it still feels pretty good, even if I stitch somewhere that's surrounded by stitches everywhere, you know, and so it kind of diminishes. I can't speak today. Kind of lessen the benefit of this way of working, if that makes sense. Yes, so you're not alone. I wouldn't nowadays, having tried it, I wouldn't do it on 25. But I know Nikki probably only works from 25 onwards. So yes, with this method, it really shines with larger stitches. And oh, Senga is referring to the Soda Stream, the NASA equipment. You can add your flavor. So it sounds very similar to the bubble machine that was mentioned earlier on. Oh, everybody's having these fancy gadgets at home. I have a fridge. Okay, that's about as far as I go. Okay, I have a dishwasher. Okay, I'm allergic to dishwashing, so I try to have a dishwasher. I actually don't mind doing it once or twice. You know, I had occasions that my dishwasher was broken and I had to wash dishes with my bare hands. It was okay, but I was very happy when the machine was fixed. Okay, so it's me. And from here, I'm going to hop over. So 3 stitches, probably the furthest I would go in terms of taking over stitch area. So this is maximum. I'm already sweating a little bit. I don't like it. 1 or 2, I'm comfortable. Crossing 3, I'm getting a little bit nervous. But I'm okay. Take a deep breath. And I'm going to mark these 2 stitches here and pop down. 1, 2, up here. Again, I think this is a 28 needle sneaked in my 26 collection there. I'm waiting for more 26, size 26 needles to arrive. These are my last ones. I just run out of them eventually. Apart everywhere. Steve is here, our gentleman stitcher. Steve is joining us. Say hello to Steve. Steve, say hello to Steve. Steve has a very large yard. He has to work on from time to time. But listening to us, he's trying to sneak in, and just join in the stream because it's more fun, right? More fun than doing yard work. And particularly when it's hot. Oh, this is so much better. Drinking soda from SodaStream, NASA equipment. Lakika says, welcome. I think I missed it. Why does going over three stitches making you nervous? Very good point. So I was referring to 3 stitches taking the thread over stitched area. So sometimes, depends on the stitching method, you have to take the thread over somewhere it's already stitched in order to complete somewhere, like a ninja stitch somewhere. And I generally don't like that. I think 3 stitches is the maximum distance I would go. But it's on the edge there, so I get a bit nervous, particularly when these stitches are quite large. So 3 stitches essentially means, half a block if you're stitching 25 stitches, if you know what I mean. So it's more noticeable when you flip over and look at the back. I know no one would ask me to do that, or maybe you do, but I like my back to be not neat and tidy, but tucked in. All the thread is tucked in. So sometimes when people do cross country, they go everywhere. You can see the thread sometimes cross like half a page wide. I start to hyperventilate. I start to need sort of, some sort of, medical intervention at that point. So I can't even look at it, even though it's not my work, but I start to go. So yeah, it's a medical condition suffered by some stitchers, but I hope I'll find a remedy there. But until then, I like not, well, first of all, I don't like to waste my floss, my thread. So that's one consideration. But also, floating thread is just not pretty, is it? So I don't mind traveling further to unstitch area. So for instance, now I'm stitching here. I don't mind taking my thread maybe to, up to about 10-12 stitches. I'm okay with that because I know by the time I get to this point, everything will get stitched out. So I'm okay with the unstitched area, but otherwise, and I refer to that as floating threads. I don't like floating threads, so that's why I start to get a little bit nervous, and I have ways to kind of bypass that. It's called yogi's backflip. I've just changed my name that I just gave myself. Yogi's move, yogi's maneuver. Yes, but I do what I can. Oh, there are quite a few here. It's like Christmas. And one more. If I do one leg at a time, I just need to be mindful to do the second leg. I have found myself forget or miss to do the second leg sometimes because I just, focus on going somewhere else and forget to do the second leg. So that is the only thing I need to be mindful about. Lisa is here as well. Lisa says, hello everyone. Say hello to Lisa. And Steve says, lost a few pounds cutting grass today. Utterly hate humidity. I know humidity is no joke, so make sure you drink a lot of bubbly water from Soda Stream or wherever it is, and keep hydrated. Oh my God, yeah, if sweating is good within reason. I love sauna, but cutting grass is probably not something that I am looking to do anytime soon. Living in London, luckily, no grass for me to cut at this point. And here, let's have a look at this color. Oh, tricky. This color, I do have a part thread here. Let me check if that's the case. I do have one part thread here, but it goes, there are only 3 stitches remaining for this color, but one is over here, one is over here. So I need to decide what to do. I can end the thread and move to the left or the other way around. Or I can be very clever. Oh, I don't know. I think in order to maintain the peace of the past thread, I might introduce a new thread just to complete this stitch here. Just a single stitch of the same color there. I don't want to take this thread over and then back. That wouldn't be good. A14. I don't know what Gemma would do, but then again, Gemma probably wouldn't create this situation, like a 1 stitch caved in. A14. So I created a situation myself, and I shall suffer for it. A14. Yes, I have a part thread already, so all is good. And just for 1 single stitch. And to start for a full cross stitch, pretty much I just do a straightforward stitch, but leaving a tiny bit of tail on the back, just close to the surface, and then tease it down. It's worked quite well on all stitch counts for me. So this is what I'm sticking to. It's nice and easy as well. I know you can do a loop, or you could do all sorts of intricate maneuvering, but I find generally it's quite simple to do, and it's quite secure. I haven't got, you know, starting stitches like this kind of coming off. So 1 stitch there. There you go. A14 out of the way. Popping my needle back. So just to let you know, any leftover thread, I leave it on my needles. That's why I run out of needles constantly, and I just thread it back on a piece of felt stuck on top of my thread cards there. So I know some viewers already trying that out and have great success. So I'm very happy. It's a very, very intuitive and simple way to part your threads. But you do need more needles. So that's the only caveat I'll say. And next, where do I go? Let's just zoom out a little bit to see where it looks inviting here on my diagonal line. Oh, I can already see this area I need to smooth out. So that's where I'll go. Let me see where the page border is. So that's where the page border is. I did draw an extra line to remind me. That's where the left page ends and the other page starts. So I need to move to the next page in order to smooth this bit out. There you go. Very nice. It's 355. 355. I need to top up this color in a bit, but there. So I cut these ones quite long so I can fold it in half in order for me to perform my favorite starting method, loop start. So I'm going to aim for this corner here to smooth out the line. So the in terms of where you go next, is really to continuously maintain that loose diagonal line. So it's like a game. It's a game. There. Move it down a little bit. Natalia says, I do have a travel project. Quaker tiles, Ukrainian flag. Oh, sounds like a sampler of some kind. Stitching on it in a car, waiting for sun. Wow. Why he? Oh, for your son. Um, why he takes extra English classes. I see. Yeah, I think a sampler. Let me know if it is a sampler. I think sampler would be quite a nice sort of travel project of selection, because it's kind of not as intense as full coverage. I know people who probably stitch full coverage, 32 counts like Nikki. She'll probably have no issues. But when you're out and about, you don't know what the situation is like, the sitting situation, sitting position, and also lighting as well, which is quite important. So something that's kind of, sampler, sampler type of project, or maybe 14 counts would be, for me, that would probably, if I ever take my projects on the go, that will probably be my choice. So I'm not straining my eyes too much if the lighting isn't too great, like on an airplane. Oh, I do know people take projects on an airplane. I'm going to try that next time if I have to fly long distance, or anything more than 2 hours. I'll probably take a project with me. I'll probably take this one. Huh, who knows? It'll be, keep you distracted. Time will fly. I'll probably go, what? We're already here? Can you just fly 2 more hours so I can get some stitching in? Because normally flying is just a terrible, for me as anyway, I hate flying, full of rational or irrational fear, you decide, of taking off and landing. I get very nervous. If you think floating thread gets me cold sweat, just wait till you put me on the plane and wait for the plane to take off or land. I look a mess. And so naturally I'm nervous anyway. But I think something like a stitching on a piece like this will probably distract me. I don't know, it will keep me calm and such. Not start, start praying to all sorts of gods, different ones, just in case, cover all bases. And but at least you'll probably distract me from overthinking. I think that's the word I'm looking for. I'm not a big fan of flying. You can probably tell by now through my description on my flying experience. I don't know how anybody choose to work on a plane, you know, like flying attendants. What is wrong with you? You know, why would you want to get on a plane all day long, every day? What is going on with you? We need to talk. Some people do, some people don't mind. Yes, that's a really nice thing to do, Natalia, to kind of, you know, peacefully waiting for someone to complete something and be on the side just stitching away. Oh, Steve knows the pattern because Steve, that's very much in Steve's zone when it comes to stitching. Oh, Nikki has done it as well. Whoa. So Natalia is doing 32 counts, 2 over 2. Okay, lovely. So it's about 16, 18 counts. Only 3 colors to grab. Oh, that's the key. That's the key. If you do those, sometimes single color or maybe only a few shades of a color for the sampler, so you don't have to carry a lot of like big floss, you know, organizer with you. That's a very good idea. Nice and light. Pull a few stitches in, and it's pretty. Suzanne says, usually I take knitting, or everybody's got strategy for waiting, because it can be a little bit, you know, you get a little bit bored or frustrated. Yes, knitting is a nice one as well, because you only need 1 hook, 1 needle if you're doing crochet. From here, let's have a look. Where am I? I am here. Right here, and now I'm going to introduce 498. 498. It's beautiful, deep wine red. Lovely. And I'm going to start here and take it downwards. Joyce, oh, a piece of Joyce's wisdom. Cross stitch is tranquilizer. You mean to turn into a to go into coma? Tranquilizer, yes. I think when I'm stitching, I haven't tested my heart rate. I bet it's on the lowest part. You know, I think my resting heart rate is generally quite low anyway, around 60 or something like that. I think you do, if you work your heart a lot more, like workout and stuff, your resting heart rate tends to be quite low. But I think when I'm stitching, probably it's around 50 something. No, I think it's probably on the lower end of my heart rate. Because you're so focused and you're at peace and you enjoy it. That's the whole thing. If you enjoy something, you're more relaxed. That is just no, you know, no debate. And imagine if you spend at least a few hours a day sitting down and do things you just enjoy and feel peaceful with. Just think about the health benefit of that. Just think of that. So stitching with you guys has greatly improved my health, for sure. Betty says, my cousin just retired as a pilot out of Dallas, Texas, moved back home now here. And is it Tennessee? TN? Wow, pilot. That's another thing. Yeah, I suppose. But pilot, at least you have some sort of control over the plane, right? So Not saying that when it comes to accidents, you have full control, but at least you have some say in terms of where the plane goes. But as a passenger or as a flight attendant, you have zero control over it, really. You're just sitting there hoping for the best, as I do. And I always admire them looking so calm. I think they're just trained to have a poker face when it comes to turbulence or something weird is going on a plane. They go, oh, no biggie. Just keep having your plain meal, chicken or fish. Pick one. You'll be fine. Coffee or tea, chicken or fish. I think these are the first few lines you have to practice if if they train you as a flight attendant. Chicken or seafood. There you go. Where am I? So here. There's one more stitch here, I think. 1, 2, 3. One, two. Oh, okay. Trying to get my head around. Let me draw a line with a different color. Maybe that will help me. So this is the page border here to differentiate from the blocks. This is the purple one. So I know that's the page border. Cheryl says, just spent the last 15 minutes digging out a box of needlepoint. I love needlepoint as well. But it refuses to move. What? But I don't. But I didn't manage to grab a bag with a knitting kit, with a nice kit in it. Oh, we're trying to move the box. The box wouldn't budge. Be careful. You don't want the box to land on top of you. You never know. I love needlepoint as well. I have a few projects on wooden frames there for many years now. I try to go back from time to time, put a few stitches in. I'll have these kind of wave of, interest coming through. Say, I'm gonna do those needlepoints and complete them, and then 3 days into it, I go, well, maybe I'll go and do some cross stitching instead. So maybe one day I'll be able to finish them. I am going to end this thread here. It's getting a little bit short. I don't want to park it. So off to the leftover thread, heaven. There you go. To join the others and enjoy a beautiful life over there. Right. Oh, hang on. I've got these two. I've done these two. Okay. To remember to mark it. So this is the page border here, the page on the right from here. River says, what pen is that? Okay, so this is one of these one of these clover fabric pens I have. So previously I've shown this one, which is the, so you can see the Clover logo there. It's a Japanese brand, I think. So they come in different colors. I use blue for borders most of the time, but depends on the color of the fabric. If necessary, I use the purple one. I've got a pink one as well. So these come with erasers at the back, so you can just turn over. If you make a mistake, you just, use the eraser or water. It works the same. It's water solutable. So, eventually, now you can't really see it anyway. But if I ever finish this piece, of course I will at some point, and wash the project, then all of this will come off. But yeah, it's Clover. I got them from Amazon. It's a great brand. I can't praise them enough. My thread cutters is also from them. You can see there's a Clover logo there somewhere there. It's a QVC. Look. And yes, so I trust the brand. I do. Always great quality. So I'm using a purple one just to differentiate just to create the page line, so I don't get confused. Nikki says, when I stitch outside the house, it makes time fly so fast. I don't feel like I stitch much at all. But I find that generally with stitching sessions, I'm here stitching with you daily for over 3 hours at a time. I'm telling you, it really doesn't feel like it. It really doesn't. It's scary. It's very scary. A lot of times it feels maybe 1 hour pass, and I have a look. Oh my God, 3 hours. It's just crazy. So I think this is a great thing to do if you need to wait for something. And I'm not good with waiting. I don't like waiting. I've got a thing about people running late, not because I'm being harsh. It just internally I feel like, when you're waiting, the time is wasted. And so I'm one of those people. I'm always on time. I rather be early. I want to be super early. I don't want to be late because I don't enjoy waiting, so I presume other people don't either. And I don't want to do things that people don't enjoy, impose on them. So yeah, if you see one of those nutters who arrives somewhere super early, that would be me. So if I ever go to sort of classes, I'm there 15 minutes earlier than everyone else. Oh, Cheryl is referring to what she's working on, I think. It's a half stitches, 4 cross stitches, detail lines, and French knots. Oh, the piece you're working on is 16 counts, 16 by 11, called European Bistro. I know that piece. I might have, I think I have it. Is it from Dimension? That name definitely rings a bell. Does it have a bicycle outside? Oh, hang on. Is it that one? Bistro. Maybe that was the other one. Maybe that's a bookshop with a bicycle. But yeah, that name rings a bell. It might be one of those Dimension kits I had that I have not finished. Okay, is that a surprise for anyone? But I love that piece as well. Kelly Quotes Plus is here. Hello, Kelly. She says, hello, Yogi and Stitchers. It's 2:05 a.m. Whoa. And I have turned the AC on, not too bad during the morning, because of a good breeze. Oh, I like a night owl. That makes me not feeling alone. It's AM, right? You haven't miswritten it. It's supposed to be. Yes, AM 2:05. I think, late night stitching is just so peaceful because everything's done for the day. You're just sitting down and do some stitching. It's lovely. So I've got another thread here. Let me just see from this point on my okay, here. It's my page border. One block off. It's here. I need to be super mindful of identifying where I am because I'm working 2 pages at a time. Here, 2, 3. Yes, I'm good. Cheryl says also 46 colors. Oh, that's manageable. Oh, Cheryl confirms. Yes, I love that piece. I'm maybe still lying somewhere buried under all unfinished projects I've got there. I used to buy a lot of dimension kits. I might dig that one out. I probably lost the pattern because they always come in paper patterns. That's the problem. Let me mark as I go so I don't get confused. Kelly says, I got the Halloween table runner done. I tried a new method. Now I want to stitch a bit on a weekend. Sounds good to me. Never too soon. Well, Halloween is not that far away if you think about it. August will come and go, and September is literally a month before Halloween. If you want to start a Halloween piece, now might be a good time. Probably no later than August if you aim to finish something like a smaller piece by Halloween. Oh, Kelly says PM. I thought as well. Not many crazy people stay up till 2 a.m. like I do sometimes. Very good, it's PM. And she says sun is shining and the dogs are napping. Oh, what a peaceful picture you're painting there. It sounds lovely. Everything's peaceful when cats and dogs are sleeping. Oh, River, amazing. She says, I've just zeroed out 3 colors on Rustic Farmstead. I'm yet to experience that when people zero out a color. Well, unless they're only 3 stitches on the entire piece, then I can do that very quickly. But that's amazing. It's a milestone, isn't it? An amazing thing is, you can only really know that with digital patterns on an app. because it calculates for you. I mean, if you use paper pattern, it's much harder to figure that out. There, so far so good. Haven't made any major mistakes so far that I know of. Ignorance is a blessing. Yes, confetti, crackers, firecrackers, round of applause, trophy. And what is that? Is that medal for River? Yes, it's quite an achievement. Quite an achievement. Joyce has the trophy ready there. I'm yet to find it. I'm yet to find the emoji. I will find it, okay? I'll send out a search party. I don't care. I'm gonna find that damn emoji. It's there somewhere. Oh, this color's got quite a few here. It feels good. And just keep going. Very nice. And I've got one more here, so I'm going to part this one over this end. It's a strategy game, everyone. Every decision counts. Suzanne says, I think I still prefer royal rolls. Oh, so currently you're doing the saga style. And yes, I think there's always a method that's kind of, it feels like coming home when you do it. But it's nice to try something else so you know which one works best for you. This one is fading a little bit. Let me see if we can draw a stronger purpley border here. And don't be scared, this line will disappear when I wash the piece. And from here, let's have a look. We can come down a little bit more. Maybe I will move up a little bit to work on a little bit over here. Why not? And slowly move to the right there. So this second page on the right here. Let's see. So I'm here. I'm gonna stitch there. Let me just Make sure I'm on the right spot. In fact, I am going to introduce a new color. That is 552. Hey, John is here. John Creations. She says, hi, everyone. Just stopping by to say hi to everyone while I get ready for dinner. Amazing. Hello to Jan. And Suzanne says, the minimum max version feels overwhelming when there's too many stitches all over the place. It really depends on how big an area you're working from. Let me know how many blocks you're working on. My comfort zone for that method, I think, is around 6 by 2, or at least not 6 by 2, 3 by 2. So about 6 blocks, 4 to 6 blocks. 4 feels a little bit too small, but 6 blocks, that's where, my comfort zone is. If it's too big, which I have tried, it's no fun. You just get overwhelmed because you keep making mistakes and you don't know where you are. So it really depends on how large the area is. Maybe you can just start with just a couple blocks. I'm going to do one more here inside to fill the stitch here. Went down the wrong corner. Kelly says, I started cross-stitching in the mid-90s, but my grandma taught me in the 80s when I was a teen. I do some kind of cross-country in an area, sort of, not really a firm method, most winging it. Sounds like a mini cross-country, no? You just stitch a certain color within the kind of area that you're comfortable with, and then just move on. Well, I'm going to do another yogi move here in order to take my thread over to a different area, bypassing the stitched area. There. My secret move, I did it again. Let me see if there's any more of this color. No, just 3 stitches. So I'm going to complete all 3 of them. There's one more here. Five, 2. Sarah says, I'm doing a combination of diagonal blocks and Gemma's method today. I try to change what I do a lot. Same here, Sarah. So I'm trying to figure out diagonal blocks and Gemma's method. Oh, how do you combine that together? Do you stitch within the block in Gemma's method, but do we block and move block by block? Let me know if that's correct. Oh, Nikki is doing a hand sewing. She's stitching in hand with 2x2 sewing method. Interesting. But considering how small you tend to do sort of smaller stitches, does it work well with like 32 counts, or are you working on larger stitches? Because hand sewing is it probably works okay for me with 14 counts, maybe up to, I don't know, maybe up to 18, 20 counts. I have tried hand sewing. It's just my left hand, because my dominant hand is the right one. I hold the fabric, roll it up with my left hand, and I get very sore with the left hand. My left wrist just start crying within minutes, not even after, like a long session. I'm just not used to this that type of stitching. Let me have a sip of my cold coffee. Oh, so good. So good. Cold coffee is the king. Suzanne says I'm doing 6 blocks. Okay, so that's within my comfort zone as well. But I think you probably tend to so referring to the Suzanne's current working method, which is using Saga within 6 blocks for minimum number of stitches based on color and flow upwards. I think normally if I ever struggle within that method would be maybe the early stage where you have to plant sort of loose stitches everywhere. That's when I make most mistakes. And also it feels slow as well in the beginning, doesn't it? Does it not? It feels like, oh, I'm not doing much. I worked like 2 hours. I've only planted like 20 stitches, within the area. Well, for me, you're probably faster. So there's a sense of maybe slight frustration could build up, but once you get over that and you have a lot of stitches surrounding for references, things get a lot easier. So you kind of have to go through that hump every time you do it. And that's kind of part of the fun though, it's a sense of you get over the early stage and yeah, I enjoy it. I don't think I'll do it every day. I mean, no stitching method I would do just every single day. But I like to switch back and forth. And but when I'm doing the Saga style, I'm happy. I quite enjoy it. I think this one is calling me. Let me come take care of you. Here, I think, double checking. Yes, it's this one. 150. Let me double check the color. 150 is correct. Cheryl says, Yogi is making yoga moves. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. It says on the tin. Yogi is slow stitcher, so I stitch very slow, just to be truthful. Actually, I stitch really fast. I just gave myself the wrong name. If I because I call myself slow stitcher, so I have to stick with the label, stick with the brand, because normally I'm really fast. I stitch like at least a couple of thousand an hour, but I don't want to show that to you because it's boring. Slow stitching is harder, so I just want to demonstrate that this is possible. This is not a fiction, You might think it's an impossible dream, but I'm living it for you, so you know it is. You can do it too. You can be slow as me too. Or maybe not. Maybe that's pushing it a little bit. 150, pop it back. I'm living the dream, everyone. I'm living the dream. Oh, okay. Nikki says I'm doing 28 count, but 2 by 2. 2 over 2, sorry. So that's essentially 16 counts, something like that. That's doable. That's not too bad. Suzanne says 3, 4, 7 stitches of A19. What does that mean? So 3, 4, 7 stitches. Oh, okay, okay. 3, 4, 7. You were talking about within your area. So that's 1/3. 1/3. So I'm going to come down here. There you go. Are the remaining stitches, Suzanne says. Well, this needle really doesn't like me. Let me switch. You know, can you, I don't know whether you can see this needle from DMC. It's got a golden area, sort of color around the eyes there. I love those, but they stopped using making these, just normal chrome ones. But this model, for some reason, it's very, very easy to thread. This is a 26 needle, and I suspect that eyes are a little bit wider, even though the size is identical to. Let me take the other one. Oh, this one's gold as well. I wish I could still buy these ones. So I think even though these two are the same size needles, both from DMC, but the golden ones, it's got slightly wider eye, so it's more forgiving when it comes to threading. And I really love those. They stopped making those golden eye ones. It's a shame. They just want to make it harder for me. See how easy that is to thread. And I'm going to park it over here. Oh my God. River says it's 95 degrees out. Whoa. How hot is that in Celsius? Sounds hot though. I don't know. Oh yeah, thank you so much. It's included. Instruction is included. The conversion. Yogi, that's 35 degree to 40. Goodness. I mean, luckily London has cooled down a little bit the last few days. We actually rain a little bit. So we're back to slightly more normal for London. It's still on the warm side, which is nice, but you know, it's back to a little bit of a cloudiness and wetness. Yeah, that's a comfort zone for London. It feels familiar. Suzanne says 21 out in terms of Celsius, I think. Without my AC, it's 26 inside. It is, that's quite warm. That's quite warm. Because on the outside, at least, you know, occasionally you have winds, a breeze that kind of, you know, that eases it and makes it slightly better. But let me see why this color is not picking up. Let me just double check there. My thread card. Okay, so it's this one. 3328. Why is it not picking up anything? Oh, okay. I just adjusted the slider there. So it's picking up now. That's good. Sarah says, I used to love the heat but as a woman of a certain age, it's changed. Yeah, it's a balance, isn't it? Because even though people are more aware of the skin cancer and stuff like that, so people start wearing sunblock, but at the same time, we're blocking out vitamin D as well. So that became an issue, even for people who live in warm countries, which is ironic because, you know, there must be a sweet spot somewhere there that you can block off, you know, damaging the sun damages, but still have sufficient amount of vitamin D for the body. 3328. And vitamin D is essential for our immune system. If vitamin D is down, you get flus and colds. You know, it was evident during the COVID situation. 332A. I think a lot of people were diagnosed with vitamin D deficient. 332H. So 332A here. So being in the UK where we don't, you know, it's not unusual, we don't have much sunlight at all throughout the year, I do make sure that I take vitamin D supplements. I think it does make a difference because without, if you're deficient, you feel tired, you feel unwell, your system just down in general. So it's no joke. Let me see here. I am right here. Suzanne says, I grew up in California. You would think I'm okay with heat. Yeah, there's heat and there's heat. Without humidity, it's actually quite nice. Dry heat, I can do that. But if it's humid, ooh, that's a different story. That's a totally different story. I've been through Italian summer, French summer, no joke. Oh, Italian summer is brutal, man. I can totally understand why they need to take a nap during lunchtime. That is not funny. 1, 2. Jenny says also, probably referring to vitamin D, she says also affect your mental health when you do not get vitamin D because your body isn't able to regulate serotonin as well without it. Yeah, it's a vital vitamin for the body. Yeah, I think if your body is down, it definitely affects your mental health for sure. So, everything's working together. The physical body is not separate from the mind body. So take care of bows, guys. Take care of bows. Happy stitching. Let's talk about cakes. Chocolate cookies. You know, it's all good. It's all good. And from here, let's pick this one up. Double check the color. Joyce also says vitamin D is also essential for muscles and bones. Yes, vitamin D is really important. I think, even though we're aware of the sunblocks, within reason, you don't want the sun damage and be sensible, but having sunlight is such a blessing. If you live in somewhere like the UK, you really appreciate daylight, sunlight, and don't overdo it, but your body needs it. Got one part here, I'll remove that later. Right. Suzanne says they say that most people are vitamin D deficient. Yeah, absolutely. I think women in general have iron deficiency as well. It happens very often. A lot of people come to my classes and go, "Why do I feel dizzy when I do a forward fold?" Before, well, it could be someone just not used to doing forward fold. But I always check that, tell them have a check on your iron level, see if it's you know, there's a deficiency of iron that could cause that. And if that's not the case, then you just, then practice could make that go away, because not everybody is used to having your head under the heart. So any position when you come to your head position is lower than the heart when you fall forward, even without doing inversion. You don't have to do a handstand to get there. Forward fold is a form of inversion. So when you do that, if you feel lightheaded and feel dizzy, yeah, it could be the fact that you're just not used to it, or maybe it's anemic, ish type of thing. So iron is important too, but vitamin D is essential. It's essential. I think majority of people are vitamin deficient. It's probably the awareness of the sun damage that ironically contribute to that, because people become too careful, they hide indoor, and have thick sunblock. So it's about the balance. There's a sweet spot there, I'm sure. Oh, Natalia says only 100 stitches left to finish a page, but it's a pale color, so I'm sleepy. Same here. If I stitch close stitches, I made sure I can switch to another location from time to time. Okay, definitely Natalia's going to bed. Night night to Natalia. Sweet dreams with kittens and cupcakes and chocolate cookies. Nighty night. Nighty night to Natalia. Humidity can make the temperature feel a lot hotter because your body is not comfortable, so you just feel hot and bothered a lot more. Definitely, humidity is scary. Yes, Suzanne says for sure anemia is no joke. I think, you know, I think a lot of us were encouraged to take multivitamins, which is, okay. But I think certain vitamins you just need a certain amount to for it to be effective. So even though multivitamins sounds like a good idea, because you're taking care of all bases, and it's probably okay if you're generally not deficient too severely of one thing or the other. Otherwise, I think it's much better to actually tackle the area that's deficient. I mean, if you're eating balanced food, diet, and have a bit of sunlight, you're probably not severely deficient for one thing or the other. But some of us do, and it could be to do with gender, lifestyle, the country you live in, the age, whatever it is. But I much prefer, target areas. So I don't take multivitamins as such. Again, I'm not a doctor, so don't listen to me. But so consult with your own doctor and also do your own research as well. But what I find is multivitamins, they generally don't have enough dosage for any particular thing. It's kind of a general maintenance thing that you feel good taking it, but how effective multivitamin is up for debate. Right, I'm going to part this one here. Let me take a sip of my tea. Lovely. Move on to the next one. A couple of stitches here for this color. Suzanne says, when I was severely anemic, they told me that even taking iron wasn't good enough. My body wasn't absorbing it. So I had to have infusions. Yes, yes. I think they just need that instant boost for the body before you can start taking sort of maintenance dose of iron. Yeah, totally. And I think it happens for women quite a lot because we have periods and stuff. And close your ears, Steve. Any gentleman stitches? We're talking about periods, but it's a fact, we bleed. So and also the diet. just because you can eat tons and tons of iron-rich food. So that's another area that people sometimes think that, Ledula Mars, have this amount of iron-rich food, therefore that's the amount of iron I'm getting. It's just not the case. There are many things can block a certain nutrient from being absorbed, and it's so intricate, you know, it's hard for us to come up with kind of a solution that is not going to involve like massive research and stuff, and who has time to do that? So I think generally supplements might be a good idea for me anyway, I think. Or in Suzanne's case, she goes to the doctor probably with, suffering from certain symptoms, to go to the doctor. Yeah, infusion sometimes just give a massive boost, and then you can start, once it's leveled up a little bit, then you can start going into maintenance mode. It makes a world of difference. A lot of people go, why am I so tired every day? Or why am I having, this and that, the other? A lot of kind of chronicle discomfort that we have, we tend to kind of just pull it aside. And a lot of people live with it because it's a normal state, or you start to think it's normal to have those discomforts. No discomfort in the body is normal. Just remember that. There's a reason for it. Some might be tolerable, so we put up with it. Some people have certain, soreness in the body, but everything has a reason for it. And discomfort is not something that you should settle for it, or you certainly don't need to. And a lot of times when you look into what it is, sometimes multiple symptoms are caused by one thing. So when you find solution for one thing, a lot of times everything else goes away. The body works together as one. They're not separate departments. They do different things. 3A63, 3A63. Then a lot of times when I teach yoga, particularly in yoga, I don't know whether you guys have tried in yoga. It's if you look at a form of the practice, is basically long stretches. So the regular yoga classes, you go and you probably move it through the sequence, maybe maximum 5 breaths, and then you move to the next position. But within yoga, you could be holding there, depends on the, teacher teaching it. You could be holding there for 4 to 5 minutes. There's some long classes, long workshops. You might be holding there for 6 or 7 minutes per position. And there's always one thing I remind the practitioners that, because every single individual body is different. I could teach for 20 years, then I would not know every single body. It just doesn't work like that. Actually, I'm going to take this over there, actually. So I don't need multiple threads too early at this stage. But I always tell them that this is your body, take ownership, right? So that's one thing, because only you know what feels correct. I can give you certain instructions, but you need to actually listen to the body. And also, if there's any discomfort, because some people think, well, this pose is supposed to be this way, and they try to go as far as they can because they think that's the done thing. It's knowing when to stop. That's where the practice is, because you only know when to stop when you listen to the body. If you try to copy my position, I'm flexible. So if you try to do the same thing as me, you could hurt yourself. So it's about knowing when to stop, where to stop, and becomes sort of second nature. You just work with the body, And any discomfort there that shouldn't be there, like sensation that shouldn't be there, change it. You make modifications. You don't stay there until, you go, oh my God, it hurts. And people can end up doing that because they think, I need to work hard. But that's not what a practice is about. It's about working wisely. Be a wise practitioner of yoga, and also wise practitioner of life as well, isn't it? I mean, it's incorporate the things we learn, and knowing when to stop is an art form, I think. River says, "Stop it! Oh my God, what is it?" I don't know. I missed the beginning of the conversation. Sarah says, "I wish my chronic back pain would go away, but it's degenerative. Oh, spondylosis. So it's here to stay. Is there any rehab or, movements, exercise you could do to help it though? Because your body is, my body is smart. So I have injuries in the past through running too much. And also my right wrist has repetitive injury because of working with computer. And when I started to do yoga in more frequency, I thought there's some poses I can never do because it would put too much, too much strain on my wrists. But lo and behold, the body just learned to adapt. The injury is still there, but it heals in its own way, and it finds way to compensate it. So, our body is extremely clever. What? Oh, really? River. Oh, I get it. So River, because I have a habit of calling out the color I'm about to work, as I pick the thread. And River says third time this has happened. You and I are reaching for the same color at the same time. Oh my God. Where's the scary emoji? Let me give you one. I think it's appropriate. It's like Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone emoji, everyone. Join in. Where's my scary face? Where's my scary face there? This one for you, River. It is too scary. Third time, once might happen. 3 times in one session. We're entering the Twilight Zone. Oh, I did like Twilight Zone though. I think by the time I watched that series, it might have been repeats. I don't know when they were made, and I think they're vintage. And they used to play them, play Twilight Zone late at night in the UK, and late at night, and I would watch. I would snug in my bed and watch it. Oh, Kelly has to go. Bye to Kelly. Oh, Nikki says, just got back home, but I got the 25 count ADA, and it's ADA. Yes, we did a little deep dive between ADA and even weave to see what a distinction is, and it turned out you can get 25 count ADA. It's just the difference is the way they're woven, rather than stitch counts. Yes, yes, that makes sense. I know. Yes, everyone. Everyone is spooked. 3 times I ask you. That is not normal, River. We need to talk. Okay, maybe we are sisters with different mom, same mom, long lost sister. Maybe we're twins. You never know. They have this strange connection, don't they, twins? Like psychic connection. So, River, we need to talk. That is strange, though. Right, where do I go next? Let me zoom out a little bit. Oh, I might work a little bit of this bit actually to ease this little dent there on the line, on my diagonal, beautiful diagonal line. Oh, look at this. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can appreciate what's happening here. Yes, I think I'm gonna go under here. Let me just mark it with my needle. Oops. It's under the little drawer here. That's so cute. Maybe the page on the left here. Yes. Gonna work on this area. That's my page border here. So it's one block to the left. Yes. Sister from another mister. Sister from another mother. Exactly. A38. Have you seen the documents? I saw these documents about doppelgangers. They do exist. They actually find people that look almost identical. Some of them less so. I think they did an experiment. They basically called out people that look like those people. Well, the presenters. They're like 3 or 4 of them, and they go, "Well, if you think you look like me, get in touch." And if people get in touch, and they literally look very, very similar, and they live in a different countries, different parts of the world, they speak different languages, and they're so similar. Not just appearance, sometimes their life experience are similar as well. Can you imagine there's another me out there stitching away at this time? It could be River. A38. A38. Greety needs to go to Nappy Land. So bye-bye, night-night to Greety. Sweet dreams, sweet dreams. River says, I have identical twin sons. They're both 6'3". Everyone calls them the twin, the twin towers. They're very tall. They are very tall. Are you tall? And is your hubby tall as well? It would be even more interesting if both of you are, regular size and you produce super size human beings. These two here. This one here. That one. Wow, twin towers. Sarah says, I have a twin and my son married a twin. So one of the twins married another twin. The plot thickens. The family reunion must be so confusing. They have to be color coded, You wear pink today, so I know who you are, and you wear blue. But I think for people who are close to the twins, they can tell them apart, you know. And even for me, if I look at some twins, I can tell them apart. There's just some subtle things, or the way they speak, their mannerism, they're different. So, you know, the individual. Oh, Suzanne is getting competitive. She says, my son is 6'4". There you go. River, you're beaten. They need to grow taller. 6'4". Oh, shorties. 6'3". You have two shorties there. River says, I'm 5'8", on the taller side for female. Yes. And you're the short one in the family. Yes. Oh, man. I'm 5'6", 5. Good days, I like to say 5'7", but 5'6" really. So average for female. Whatever average is, I don't know. But I have small feet though. Even for my height, I think my feet is 4, size 4, European 4. I don't know what it is in the US. And a lot of times, I mean, 4 is kind of average, but slightly on the smaller side for female. And my mom, who was shorter than me, she's got bigger feet than me. She's 5. Oh, Sarah is tall as well, 5'8". Okay, we got some giant stitches here. Okay, not quite giant, but taller than me anyway. Suzanne is 5'11". Goodness. Talking about giant among stitches. Suzanne's tall. Oh, Suzanne. Oh, Sarah says I'm a shorty. I'm 5'1". Oh, man. Yes. So how do you produce giants like that then? Or was it not? Oh no, it's Suzanne's son. It's 5, 6'4", 6'4". We never know. Sometimes average sized parents produce very, very tall offsprings. You just never know. One, two. Here. It's one more. Heather says, my best friends in high school were identical twins. We remained friends for years, and they both were my bridesmaid. Wow. The wedding pictures were awesome. I know, having two identical human beings, one on one side. People probably thought, well, it's been photoshopped. But no, it's the twins, bridesmaids. That sounds amazing. And Suzanne says, I stopped growing at 13. So you're that high. You're 5'11" at 13? Wow. You're towering over most of the peers. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3 at the bottom. Yep. River says, my cousin was 6'4" in grade school and she had 2 hearts. What? 2 hearts? I'm not making this up. Yeah, I was about to ask. Spooky things all around River. She died in her very early 20s. Oh, gigantism, I think they called it. Oh, I have seen people who have that symptom, but they just grow really tall and really big bone. But I've never heard of 2 hearts. That is definitely an issue. I wonder how the body works when you have 2 hearts. Wow. I have heard people having heart in the on the right rather than the left. I think there was one case with the death penalty back in those days when they did those. Because I think what they did was they tried to shoot the person on the left. You know, that's what they're targeting. But the person just got injured and nothing happened to him. And they found out the person's heart is actually on the right side. So, and there were debates that because he escaped the death penalty, well, the actual execution, whether he should be spared from the death penalty. I don't know. I can't remember what happened to that. It's kind of a weird case. A14. Oh, River was being teased for being tall. This guy, a total stranger, was making fun of my height. Kept asking me if I play basketball. That's the first thing people ask if you're really tall, male, females. I do play basketball. Yes. That's the go-to comment. Let me move down here a little bit here. Let me see where I am. Where am I exactly? Over here. I see. Okay. I'm going to work a little bit of this corner here. And it is A14. A14. I've got it here already. Joy says, I had 2 classmates who are identical twins. They also married identical twins. Just in case this situation is not confusing enough. Okay, Joyce. Their kids are genetic brothers and sisters instead of cousins. I need to get my head around that. So they're both, so two twins married each other, two separate twins from different sets of twins, obviously. They got married to identical, so both of them married to identical twins. Oh, my head is spinning. So their kids are genetic brothers and sisters instead of cousins. How does that work? Someone please explain and treat me like a 3-year-old because I didn't get that. So they are. Oh, hang on. Do they marry the same? So both twins married another set of twins? Like a sen the basically two, let's say two males, two females. They're both twins and they marry each other, like 4 people. So their kids are connected with each other as brothers and sisters. Man, the mind boggles. River, nice comeback. River got teased, so her comeback is I asked them if they play miniature golf. Yeah, get it in, River, get it in. They deserve it. They deserve it. You should never tease people about their body in any shape or form. And if you get teased back, you deserve everything you get. Oh, right, Dachi. Yes, Joyce. 2 brothers and 2 sisters. So it's 2 sets of twins marry each other. My God, that's one hell of a one hell of a wedding party or family gathering. And imagine if they actually produce twins as well. Oh my goodness. You literally need to take, name register with each family sort of gathering because it's just too confusing. But I have had this strange experience though. I remember when I was a kid, maybe it was just my mind playing tricks on me when I was a kid. There was one afternoon and I was out and about. I think maybe in a car with my mum. And I looked out the window. I saw someone who I thought was my dad, who was in a location that he really wouldn't have been. He was at work, supposedly. But I saw this guy walking out. I can't remember, it was a building, trying to get into a car. And I saw him and I said to my mom, hey, dad is over there. I just saw a dad. And she looked down, but she missed it because we were in a moving car. But it was my dad. He was wearing clothes my dad would have worn. But it was we were in a location that it was just impossible for him to be. And we knew he was at work, okay? So he wasn't cheating or anything. He wasn't that wasn't him. But it stuck in my mind. I must have been, I don't know, 5 or 6, maybe slightly older. I think I was slightly older. And it stuck in my mind that there was someone out there that looked just like my dad, walked like my dad, dressed like my dad. But it most likely wasn't my dad. It's a strange world, Stitches. A strange world. No. Yes, even twins, they're not necessarily genetically identical. Depends on, you know, if you have a different embryo or something like that. They could come out quite different. They just come out at the same time. Let me take a sip of my tea. Where do I go next? I think I'm moving down here a little bit. So let's see. That is one of the blend threads. So this piece also has 3 different blend threads. So these are the combinations here. So I'm going to take 1 thread for each. So these are quite long. I might cut them in half. Because the length I cut is for folding in half, and because these are blend threads, I'm going to just halve them so they're not too long. I noticed the other day when I got some new hoops, I got a few new hoops from Nudge, and I got one of these. Let me show you. Let me know what you think about this type of. Let me just cut it a little bit shorter so easier to manage. I've got the metal spring ones. Have you seen these? I think so. I only learned about these ones from mastering Stitching Masterpiece. One day I'll be able to pronounce say the channel name properly. So this lady, some of you are familiar with. Let me see if maybe I can move this one out briefly and show you this one. I got one of these. So currently it's being used on one of the projects, but these are the metal sort of spring ones. I've never used this one before, and this is the biggest size they have right now. I don't know whether they do bigger ones. It's not the I would like them maybe a little bit bigger, because most of my projects probably need a bit more space. But this one I've just started, so I'm using on this one. This is the quilt rim one, and it's got a spring bits that you squeeze and open. But the thing is, before I got this this hoop, my question would be, will it create good tension for the fabric? And it's kind of okay. It's still slightly on the loose side for me, and but you can pull them slightly. You can, if you try, you can kind of pull the edges, make them a bit tighter, and I'll see if they actually it actually retains the tension. But the thing is this bit, so it's quite easy to fit, because with the normal hoops we have to screw or use the dials. There's literally, if you release the spring, it kind of stretched out the fabric. So in terms of speed, it's fast, but I was surprised by how much pressure you need to place in order to not just squeeze them together, but hold the handles long enough for you for the frame to come through, because otherwise it might bounce out. So yeah, it's probably something to consider if you don't have firm grip, which I do. Well, I just about manage. Maybe I can get used to it, but it's not just a squeezing. You have to hold it long enough that you can either remove it or release it. So yeah, like now my hand kind of feels a little bit sore. So let me know your verdict in terms of retaining the tension. I'll give this a go. Maybe I'll stitch this piece tomorrow and see how it goes. But I don't know whether they do bigger ones. It looks quite sturdy though, because I haven't had very good I'm not feeling that positive about plastic frames, but so far it feels very sturdy in the hands, and the metal rings feels quite reassuring. But it's just the operation itself that I don't know how I feel about it just yet. So let me know your feedback. Some of you probably have already used it. Just another thing for me to try to see if I like it, because sometimes fitting this type of sort of wooden ones, the retention of the tension is pretty good so far, at least with the frames I'm using. But it does take a little bit of time to readjust, pull the fabric, screw the screw in a little bit tighter. It could take a few minutes before it's probably framed. But the metal one is quite fast, That's the advantage. And I don't know whether it will ever break. I don't know, because the metal part is probably okay, but the plastic part of it, I don't know. Sarah says, I have few of those hoops. I like them. Can you get them sort of slightly larger? I think this one is only, trying to see, maybe 7 inches. I can't remember. Something like that. Not very big. Suzanne asks, how tight can you get it? I think if I continue to pull the edges, I can get it fairly tight, but my question is whether it stays that way as you stitch, whether it start to loosen from the side. When you release the spring here, initially it's not very tight. It depends on how you position the fabric. And also, another thing I forgot to mention, in order for the handle to stay at the back, you have to frame your work like this. You have to have the back of your work. And I find it tricky because I've got part threads here. If I don't look at the front, it's very hard for me to aim at, the location I want. So that's another thing. I've seen people having the handles at the front, but it kind of gets in the way depending on how you stitch. And also because the handle is here, it means this part is not being, doesn't have the support of the metal ring. So you do have a bit that feels slightly loose here. So I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, the fact that I have to frame it upside down is a little bit something to get used to here. You could catch the part threads or not framing the right location. So yeah, so there's something for me to discover, to see if I like it. But so far I quite like the fact that it looks a lot more robust than I thought it would be. I don't like flimsy things. Suzanne says, I have a cheap version and I don't like them. They don't hold for me. Yeah, this is the first one I've got. It's from Nudge, but they you know the product they have seems to be relatively good quality so far. So maybe worth getting one from them to see. It feels quite robust. So oh, Nikki says there's a big difference, the Nudge ones and the cheap ones. I presume so. It's probably the same thing with the plastic frames in general, because the ones I've got, I can't remember what brand they were, but they're not sort of known brands for me. So maybe it's worth trying out the Nudge ones, the plastic ones, before I come to my verdict. But so far, I'm not too impressed by the plastic ones. I'm gonna do this bit. I do like their wooden hoops, so let me see, where am I exactly? Totally lost. Oh, here. Where the little button is. Just at the edge there. Now I know why that is. I'm looking at the wrong page. That doesn't help. Okay. Nikki says, I was wondering if you wrap your hoop with fabric or muslin, that might make your fabric tighter. Yes, when you say wrap your hoop, oh, you mean wrapping the actual the hoop themselves. Yes, but there's not kind of extra operation to do. Yes, I've seen those that's pre-wrapped. And occasionally I would tuck a piece of felt around the edges to make a hoop a little bit tighter. Yeah, I suppose you could, and provides, it provides cushioning as well for the fabric. But I suspect I'll probably be too lazy to do that. That's what I think. But I think, yeah, that's a good idea if you want it tighter. But at the same time, with something like a metal hoop, by having too much cushioning, wouldn't it weaken the actual, actually make it a little bit more loose? I don't know. I have to try it to see it. Going to do this one down here. Suzanne says, I like Nudge hoops. Yeah, they're really good quality. And I love the fact that they have really deep ones. Like, let me just show you this one. So normally, normal hoops it's probably about half the depth. They have really deep ones like this. This is about 1.6 centimeter, I think 16 mm, and it's double the depth, and it holds the fabric really well. The thinner ones, this one I'm using is the regular depths, different brand, but it's okay. But it's just when you place the fabric around the hoop, when you tighten and pull the fabric, you have to be a little bit mindful. Otherwise, it could slip off. It just come off because it's quite shallow on the side. See, I'm going to park it over here. Joy says Alicia uses 2 of those hoops for better tension. Who's Alicia? Is it a floss tuber? So uses 2 of these hoops for better tension. How do you use 2 at the same time? So maybe that indicates that it doesn't hold tensions very well. Explain, Joyce. What do you mean by that? 2 hoops for better tension. Oh yes, Suzanne. Yes, I do the same. I put some felt, just random locations sometimes, or maybe around the stitch area, just a layer of felt, just to increase a little bit of thickness there. And because some hoops might not tighten very well, or even if if you screw all the way in, there's still some gaps there, particularly with something that's slightly older. Then a piece of felt sometimes just you know, fill in, give it a little extra tightness. Grace says, I love the square plastic Nerge hoops. I've seen those. I think the cheaper ones, or maybe the random brands that I've got, what I find is that within the circle there, right? The circles get tucked in quite well. That's good. But is the sides, I can literally see gaps around the sides, even when I screw the screw all the way in to the maximum and break them as I do. But the sides were still, I can see gaps. I was horrified. And then eventually they break, so they're there. So far, I'm not too impressed by that. The Nerge ones might be different, so I'll keep my hold my verdict here until I try the Nerge ones before I give out my scores. Currently, with the plastic one is about 3 out of 10, but what I got was kind of random brands, so it wouldn't be fair. 1, 2. It's this one over here. One, two. One, 2, 3. One, two, yes. Suzanne says, "Oh, I want to try the wooden Nerge. I highly recommend it. It's very, very sturdy. I think, I don't know if they're slightly more expensive. Yeah, I think the deeper ones, one that's got double the depth, They're slightly more. It costs a little bit more than the other ones, but not much, not much. I would love, you know, from now on, if I get hoops from them, I'll only get the ones got the 16 millimeter depths. It just holds the fabric a lot better. Alicia is a lady from Stitching Masterpiece. Oh, that's her name. Okay. Finally, I know what her name is. Okay. So she, let me go back to your comments. She uses 2 of those hoops for better tension. You mean 2 of those metal ones? I've seen her use the spring ones. But how do you use 2 for better tension, I wonder? I think she likes those spring ones very much. And she says she places a larger and a smaller hoop over the same area. How do you do that? The smaller within the bigger. Oh, so she uses, let me see if I can understand this. So let's say if she's trying to frame this size, right? And if I flip to the back here, it means she uses 2 of these. One is smaller within the area, but 2, so she must have another one that's got a slightly smaller in size, and then have another one in the inner circle. Wow, that's an intricate operation. How do you get the sizes to fit? I think she's probably bothered by this as well. I do find that this area is not fully supported because of the spring. If you look at that, it's hollow. So, you know, it might be okay. So my question would be the retaining of the tension, because so far it's okay. I can pull it probably a little bit tighter, but I don't know whether it will stay here. So, you know, it's totally relying on the spring at the back. That's very interesting. She's so resourceful, though. She's such a lateral thinker. I do like the way she thinks. She just hacked her way through. And I tend to do that as well, so I can relate to that. This one here. Just do these 3 stitches here. And park it down here. I'll do my best not to break my hoops as much as I can. I'll do my best. Right, I think I'm going to move down here a little bit for a few more stitches here. There. So this is where the blend color come in. The next stitch will be kind of far away over here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Carla says I have to go. Good night, everyone. Bye bye. Yes, and Portugal, it's nearly 1 o'clock. Well done, girl. Well done, Carla. Have a good night's sleep. 99. May your dream full of, I don't know, fluffy things and Amy Stewart pieces. Okay. While you're stitching. 99 to Carla. And also, I need to remember. So this Saturday we're doing a SAL together. Saturdays from now on will be Amy Stewart Day. So any one of you's got, well, everybody has got a piece of Amy Stewart. If you're not, if you don't have it, it's time to change it. So Saturdays will be getting together and stitch Amy Stewart pieces going forward. But this week, the first week of Amy Stewart day, the few of us, I think now we have built up to maybe 7 or 8 people. We're doing a new start together from Amy Stewart. So let me show you what a piece is. It's called Sweet Shop. You haven't seen it? Brace yourself. Okay, go. So beautiful, beautiful. My heart races every time I see this mock-up. So on Saturday, around about the same time as we normally start, so UK time between 7 to 9. Start time is normally fall into this window, so it depends on where you are. I can do a conversion, but similar to the starting time today, maybe slightly earlier, we are going to make our first stitch together this coming Saturday. So I know this is Thursday now, but if you already have your fabric and you have some floss ready, it's not too late to grab the pattern. I think I haven't checked, but Heaven and Earth might still be doing the sale as well, so you can get this pattern half price. Okay, you can't resist that. And this pattern, I'm doing a regular size, regular color. This pattern does not come with max colors with regular sizes, but if you want max size, max regular, max colors, you can go up to super size. And like there's some of us are doing that, those brave ones, the heroes, the trailblazers, and they are doing max super size, max colors. Okay, so that's the option for you, and come and join us. And you can start with us. We will stitch through. Everybody will pick their different fabric counts, start from different parts of the fabric, and we'll find out on Saturday. So no one is cheating. Everyone is waiting till the live stream, and we're gonna make that first stitch wherever it is on the pattern. So you still have time to give it a go, and just go and grab the pattern. And if not, any Amy Stewart pieces, and I'll go as far as saying, even if you're not stitching Amy Stewart, which you should on Saturday with us, you can just grab your favorite project and join us. So I'll try to put out the schedule time as early as I can, but I'll say roughly around the same zone that we're doing on the daily basis. So come with us for the ride, okay? You've been warned. You've been warned for Saturday. So here we go. Yes, so Nikki's definitely doing with us. She's gonna do her crazy 3-color extreme cross country with her piece. So I'm really looking forward to what she's gonna be doing. Oh yes, and Tracy has done the count. She says, I think you're right. 8 of us doing the sweet shop, and that number could go up. I know some of them are itching to join us. They just need that final push. And here I am, give you that final shove to all the right direction. You know what to do. And Carla says, it's 11:45 p.m. and I don't have just see you. Oh, I don't know what that means. Oh, 11. Okay. So you are the same time zone as us. I kept thinking you're ahead of me in Portugal. You're exactly the same time as me. But it is close to midnight, so for normal people in Europe, it's the bed nappy nap time. Totally understandable. So have your beauty sleep. And yes, Nikki says, I can't wait for Saturday. Me either. I haven't prepared my fabric properly. I need to get my sewing machine out tomorrow and do the edges and, just do it properly so we have a beautiful start. And what? Nikki says, did I see that Joyce was doing this pattern too? Really? Joyce? Are you doing it with us? I'd be floored. I have managed to corrupt Joyce a lot since she's been coming to the chat, and I'm continuing my effort to corrupt her even more, to get her to do more whips. It is my life goal to get everybody to have at least 50 whips by the end of it, wherever that is. I am doing quite well with those numbers. Tracy says Tracy says you can be crazy with me. Yes, we can all just, have a fun session together every day and every Saturday for sure. Carla, but I buy a Kim Jacobs for Wednesday. Well done, girl. Well done, girl. Yes, we have Kim Jacobs Sew for Wednesday. Every Wednesday we get together and appreciate Kim Jacobs patterns as well. If you want to grab one of the Kim's patterns, now is also a good time. So any piece from Kim, any fabric count, whatever speed you're doing, you can be, the beautiful slow speed as me, or crazy speed like Nikki, and a few others. Feel free. Joyce, you are doing it with us. I'm so happy. I could weep. Joyce, yes, my job is done. Beautiful. Joyce is joining us as well. I'm so happy. And Sarah says, my Amy Stewart piece would be my most colorful one. I know she's got this signature style, but she also has pieces like, one of the pieces I'm doing, the Grandma's Loft, is a totally different feel. She's got so many different styles, maybe different stages of her, creative process journey. So we get to appreciate that. You can grab any of her work and come with us on Saturday and let's have fun together. And he's got firecrackers ready. And Tracy says, and hate half price patterns right now. It's still on. Yes, last time I checked, I think they were going to do it like a week period, multiple days anyway. So definitely half price. Any, if you're gonna grab those patterns, now would be a very, very good time. So Joy says, I purchased I did see that post, but I didn't see the bit that you committed to come with us. I purchased 10 UFOs. I was laughing my head off when you said that. I was like, UFO projects. She says, I purchased 10 UFOs. And good riddance. But some of them are so beautiful, though. Some of them I would probably, the hot balloon ones. I thought they were so beautiful. But so she says, I need something to fill that gap in my stash. That's what we're here for. Yes. Joyce is coming with us for the ride. And a hate autocorrection full of win. Yes, I was wondering what that is. Yes, Joy says you did, Yogi. You convinced me that I need it. I know. We all need that Amy Stewart piece. Even if you already have 20, you just need that extra ones, for sure. Yes, Tracy says be slow doing SSMC with me. If you don't know what that is, that's the lingo super size max colors. That's the holy grail for a lot of stitchers when it comes to hay patterns. That is the ultimate challenge. I would say regular max colors is a big challenge as well. But when you go super size, you know, you're in a different realm there. Carla says, I don't have any Amy Stewart, and I go start with Saga app, more slow. Oh, Carla, grab. Just, you know, you don't have to make up your mind now. Just go have a look. Just sneak over there to Heaven and Earth and type in Amy Stewart and see what you see. I don't think you're going to walk away empty-handed. You're going to have a few things in your, at least in your wish list. Grace says, I'll be working on Stitching Shelf by Amy Stewart. Stitching Shelf is also absolutely beautiful. And I believe I've seen your web on our group. And you, if you don't know, we have a Facebook group on right now. Let me just quickly paste in. It's in the description anyway, but just for your convenience, I'm going to paste in the link here for you in the chat. You can go over there and join us. So everybody's posting their own whips on there. There's some beautiful, beautiful pieces. I tell you, it's breathtaking. So Joy says, I'm going to try on 28 counts. That's the count I'm doing as well. I'm reusing the piece of fabric. Excellent. And she says, hoping I can stitch on it now. I'm equipped with Boomerang and May 51s. Oh, learn a lingo, everyone. Learn a lingo. And boomerangs and May 51s. Yes, they're two different thread ending styles. And one developed live here on the streams few streams ago called Boomerangs. And I will try to extract that clip where I do demonstration for half stitches and full stitches using the boomerang technique coined by Joyce. Okay, and so I'll try to find those clips and post them on video section. I know some people are looking for them, just so maybe you can quickly just have those clips ready for you. Very, very simple. Once you know how to do it, you know, you pick it up in no time. And oh, Carla is waiting for the cat piece. Oh, I have no idea what's going to happen when the Amy Stewart cat version for the library is a cat. There's a dog library right now, and there's a cat coming out. I almost hope that it won't come out too soon because we're going to be very, very busy. But when that comes in, we can just incorporate the piece into our Amy Stewart Day on every Saturday. So we have more to work with. So now it's nearly midnight, around around 12 midnight in the UK. And so I am probably going to make my last stitches the last one with this piece. I'm very happy with progress today. Let me just zoom out a little bit here for you. So but the progression is quite subtle, but you can see the lines are starting to move downwards. And this is the beauty of this way of stitching. It's like a wave, like the ocean slowly flowing forward. You don't know, you can't see a clear progress because it's not working through blocks or pages. It just flows away and reveal the image underneath, and the image underneath is beautiful. Let me just quickly show you the part I can show within this hoop here. There's a little bit more on top where there's a water feature, there's a view of the outside, and there's a beautiful cat sleeping peacefully just by the window there, as they do, these cats. If you have cats, you know that's their favorite spot. And I'm working, for the last few sessions, I've been working on this little beautiful wooden chest with drawers, there were ribbons on top, and this piece has got back stitches. Okay, so there's more to come even with the stitch area, and I'll be holding back stitching party at some point once I finish all 4 pages, 2 on top already finished, and the left is moving really well, moving toward the 4th page and working downwards. And once we're there, which is not that far away, it's just here. And that will be the bottom of the page. And we'll have our back stitching party, and we'll be adding so much more details to this already very beautiful piece. And to prove you it's beautiful, prove to you, then let me show you the full glory. This is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and there's so much more to come. If you look at the left, there's a little paint box there with palettes of different paints. Oh my god. And all the stuff going on the shelves on the right there, and the ribbons and stuff on the table. Man, this piece is absolutely breathtaking. So let me come back and show you quickly off my app here to show you my progression today. So I'm tracking my chart using Markup RXP. It's a print version, a print pattern imported. And today, let's see where we are. So today I have complete Joyce and all the fast stitchers. Sit down, safely on your chair. I don't want to injure you, okay? You're going to be floored, so impressed. I have completed in our session 117 stitches. A round of applause for Yogi and all the maneuvers I have to perform in order to achieve this impossible feat right here in front of your eyes, and around 3 hours. Okay, all of you, I know some of you have found those trophy emojis. Give it to me right now. And I'm moving forward with the percentage as well. Now I'm 929. So this is where I am. And let me come back to the chat for a little bit. Yes, she's waiting for it. Steve says, I guess the design a designated driver for all of you wild and crazies. Steve, there's still time. There's still time to join the ride, okay? You know what to do. You have technology, you have internet, you have access to heaven and earth design, and maybe a nice distraction from your castle piece. Just stitch something that's so colorful and joyous and full of sweet, beautiful, beautiful things, delicious things. There you go, Steve. That's my message to you. And Carla says, I go start Lisa Parker, can I, Yogi? What is Lisa Parker? Is that a name of a piece? You can do anything you want, Carla. And Joy says, you can join me, Steve. Yes, exactly. Joy says, you can join in, Steve, some colors to balance all the sky. You and I think the same, Joyce. Exactly. Colors. I think that's what Steve needs to distract him from the castle piece, the gray skies, which is beautiful, and also yard work, from the green, too many green grass, and come and stitch something that's just so colorful and vibrant. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. And Lauren says, I won't get to stitch tomorrow. Hubby has doctor's appointment, and she will be back on Saturday to join us. Definitely take care of the hubby, and hope everything goes well with doctor's appointment. And we will be seeing Lorraine on Saturday. And Jennifer has just joined us. Never too late for a good party, Jennifer, darling. She says, hello all. And Tracy's giving me all the good vibes, and Grace as well. Round of applause on the trophy. Suzanne says, good job. Thank you, Suzanne. And Joy says, I better go to bed before my hubby comes to kick me out of my craft room. So he's the timer, is he? Yes, go and have a restful sleep and dream about Sweet Shop. Oh my God. And get your fabric proper. Yes, you're reusing the fabric, so you already have a fabric. Good. And Sarah, thank you for your trophy. And Steve says participation trophy. Well done. And Nikki, thank you, Nikki, my darling. And Suzanne, oh yes, a trophy from Suzanne as well. Carla, not only trophies, I'm receiving ice creams as well. Very nice. Very apt for hot days. like now. And Rose, thank you so much. Trophies and medals as well. Nikki's giving me chocolate cookies. Don't tempt me, Nikki. You are trouble. And Carla says is an artist, and hey, you can stitch anything you want. Just come join us, okay? Come and join us. Sarah says good night. Grace says good night. And night night, everyone. From here and peaceful little town called London. Yogi signing out. Thank you everyone for today. Lovely chatting with you as usual. And we'll come back and do it again. Enjoy the rest of your day. And if you're going to sleep like a normal person in Europe, then night night, everyone. Good night.